Good evening. Good evening. Thank you all so much for joining us for our second night of Cancer Conversations. My name is Latoya Dotson. I am the founder and director of Pink Savvy Incorporated, a breast cancer organization located in Memphis, Tennessee, in which we support women on their journeys through breast cancer. Pink Savvy's mission is to celebrate the inner and outer beauty of women that have gone through breast cancer and women that are currently fighting breast cancer. So, Cancer Conversation was launched because really due to COVID, but it was placed on my heart to still be able to get women together, to be able to share their testimonies, to encourage others that may be going through this journey right now, some that have actually faced it and that are having a hard time since going through the process as well. So this is one of the blessings that I consider that breast cancer bestowed upon me. It's being able to meet some amazing women that are survivors and some that are actually fighters as well. So tonight I am awarded the privilege and the honor to be able to share the same space with the beautiful Angela Adams. She is a 33-year-old two-time breast cancer survivor. And so I'm going to bring her on now and I'm going to let her share her journey with you all. Hello, Angela.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having
good.
me. This means everything.
So tell us a little bit about, tell us about your journey, how it all began and signs and symptoms, just whatever your heart desires to share with us, just share.
Where do I start? Like I said, my name is Angela Adams, and I was diagnosed with stage 2 triple negative breast cancer at the age of 33 in October of 2018. My treatment plan, it consists of 16 rounds of chemotherapy, followed by lobectomy, and finishing off with 6 weeks of radiation therapy. Excuse me. I became breast cancer free April 2019.
Okay.
However, though, my cancer came back April of this year. It spread to the other breast, the right breast, excuse me. Mm-hmm. And that's stage 1 triple negative breast cancer. So lobectomy first this time, 4 rounds of chemo, radiation therapy. However, those 4 rounds of chemo was cut short a little bit. So I did 2 rounds of chemo. Early July, I tested positive for COVID-19. So I had to postpone the last 2 until I tested negative twice before I can continue on, with my journey with the chemo and everything. So I finally tested negative late August. Mm-hmm. I finished my last chemotherapy September 24th. After that, the next day after my last chemotherapy, I had to see my radiation oncologist. How do I say this? It's a little overwhelming. I'm still letting this marinate. It's going to be my first time actually telling you guys what's going on. So September 24th, after my last chemotherapy, the next day, I went to see my radiation oncologist, and he told me that the cancer spread to my brain. So I have a small tumor on the right side of my brain. So my breast cancer journey is put on hold. It's postponed because of my brain cancer.
Wow.
And it's a lot. It's overwhelming, but I mean, I got this. But like I said, the breast cancer journey is put on hold. The brain is everything. It functions everything. So they want to do this first. And then after I'm done with that, go back to my everything to finish off with the the breast cancer. So that's going on right now.
Right.
My journey is still going. I have about another year until I can let you guys hear
We're going to hear.
Story. Yes, like I got this. Y'all see
Yes.
me, like I continue to smile, I continue to laugh. I got this, and I'm glad I caught this. I know my body.
Yeah.
I knew something was up. Once again, I've been getting headaches, and I went to go tell my doctor, and they said, let's order an MRI of the brain, and got the results back, and they said, you have a tumor. You have a small tumor, and we are going to do radiation therapy to get rid of it. So let's put your breast cancer journey on hold until we finish this tumor. Once this tumor is done, it's out.
Right.
Finish off with your breast cancer. So that's my story right now. It's still being written right now.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a year and y'all gonna see me.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Well, I'm gonna keep up with you anyway, so that's just how I roll. But so they're gonna not do radiation or anything. So the breast, your actual breast, you have no more mask or anything there. That's
no, yeah. So I did so the second time with breast cancer, they did the lobectomy first.
Okay.
But I forgot to explain. Thank you for asking. But I got a new medical oncologist, and we as a team, my whole team, we decided to do a bilateral mastectomy to get rid of both my breasts. So I'm up for it. I can do anything.
Yeah.
I'm a fighter. I'm good. So
yeah, I always tell people that once you have faced cancer, and I want to just say anything that actually probably threatens your life, you feel like you're like, what next? Like, I got this, I can do this. I'm an overcomer. But first of all, I just want to say that my heart goes out to you, and okay, we're back.
Okay.
So no, I was just like, I didn't want to cry. But I understand. I do understand. Cancer pisses me off though. And it's something that we don't understand. And that's why it's so hard, because you get over one hurdle and then it's like, here's something else.
Yeah.
And it was the same way with me. It was like I overcome something and here's something else. And then you get to the next thing and here's something else. But it's just like you have to keep that mind that you are going to overcome it and that it's going to be all good. Like all of this is going to be worth the trouble.
Yeah, like my first time. Oh yeah, like my first time with cancer, like I was scared. But the second time I was like, I just laughed. I'm like, huh. I said, all right, come back so I can beat you up one more time again. Come on, I'm ready. Like I was ready. I'm like, I'm ready for this. Like you ain't never gonna win. So stop.
That's right.
Now, do yourself a favor and stop. Like leave me alone. Yeah. So
and that's what kind of attitude you have to have. You really have to have a fighter attitude. You have the moments where you're gonna cry and you're gonna be mad as heck because you don't understand why it had to be you going through the process. But all in all, you have to have a fighter spirit, because that is the only thing that can get you through this process, really, is that you have determination to win in the end. That's it. So I just want to ask you a few questions. And one is, how has cancer, being diagnosed with cancer, how does it change your life?
Where do I even start? Oh my goodness. It changed a lot for me. I would say for the better. One thing is being very grateful. I know, like me, I tend to be dissatisfied with my life. I know a lot of people do sometimes about the small things, but we forget what's important, like our health and our family. you know? So that's one thing that I definitely learned. Another thing is to not stress about the small things. It's all about perfection. Before cancer, I was like, oh, everything has to be perfect. But now it's like, for what? There's bigger things to stress about. Like, it's like I have cancer, you know, like I shouldn't be going crazy about the small things in life that I can easily be, I could fix, you know, and stuff. So that's another thing. And the fact that like, I thought about this was, I don't know if you've had to deal with this, like death staring at you in the face, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's one thing that
Because
like
it's so unknown. Everything about it is,
yeah.
it's like, am I going to overcome this? In your heart and in your mind, you feel like you are,
Mm-hmm.
but then in the end, you don't know if you are, you know? So it's just like, you don't, everything is unknown. It's almost like, you know it's in God's hands,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to have faith and we have to believe,
Yes,
but yet you don't know.
that's true. Oh, it's the worst feeling. But what are some other things that have changed? Oh, number one, oh my goodness. I have a better relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
My first time with cancer, I questioned a lot. Like, I questioned my faith. I'm like, why is this happening to me? Like, why me? I'm a good person. You know, I take care of myself. Why me? Why am I the one that has to deal with cancer at such a young age? Like, I'm just getting my life in order, being independent, and now it's like I have to put my life on hold because of this. But I learned to put God first, put my trust in God at all times, and He knows that I'm going to be okay. And that's another reason why I'm wearing this shirt, God Faith Families, because like these were like my three things, you know, that basically changed for me. Like, you know, I put all of these together at all times through it all. So that was my number one thing that changed. I have a really great relationship with God, and my faith is everything to me. So I continue to pray every single day, and I'm going to get through this. And God is here. He's watching over me, and He's making sure I'm okay. He's protecting me, and I'm good. I'm good. So those are the main things that I have to say changed for the better, for sure. So
did you, I mean, just going back, and I was thinking, did you detect your own lumps in your breast, or?
yes.
Okay.
Yes. I remember I was on my way to my apartment. I was at a red light, and I was just scratching, you know, and I'm like, no, hold up. Straight at that red light, I was like, I do not care. I'm gonna check. I felt something, so I went to see my gynecologist. I let my gynecologist know about it. I didn't know what type of doctor to see, so I'm like, let me call my gynecologist, let her know what's going on. Went to see her, and she was like, there's definitely something there, but I don't think there's really nothing that you have to worry about. You're young. You know, it's there's really nothing to worry about, but I'll order you an ultrasound and a mammogram. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Did that, and I waited. After they were done doing the mammogram and ultrasound, I waited in the lobby, and they said, we can give the results back in about 20 minutes. And I was like, oh, okay, just like that?
Yeah.
So the lady comes back, she's like, oh, nothing to worry about, it's benign, but we still want to do a biopsy. Oh, all right, have nothing to worry about. Let's do a biopsy. Waited a couple days, did a biopsy, and they said, we'll give you a call when we find out the results. So I get the phone call at work from my gynecologist. And she lets me know. She was like, Angela, bad news, and I already knew. Once you say that, that's it. I'm like, all right. I was like, all right, doctor, what is it? She's like, you have breast cancer. And I was crying. And this happened at work. My coworkers witnessed all of this going on. And that was very, very hard. And I detected it. I'm glad. I know my body. I know when something's up, because I felt pain like a week prior to even feeling a lump. It was just like, I was like, oh, like it was just painful in just one spot. But I found it that way. And then the second time, the same exact thing. I was like, I feel something. I feel something on the opposite side. I know I ain't tripping. So something's going on. Same thing. Did an MRI. They found 2 abnormalities. Did a biopsy on both. They got the tissue out, and one came back benign. The other one, stage 1 triple negative breast cancer, came back. And I was like, here we go again. Round 2, baby. Let's do this. So yeah, I found them myself. Early detection, I swear, is everything. Self exams are everything, ladies.
It is.
To know their body.
I'm always trying to push that, self exams. Do it every day. Fill yourself up. Fill yourself up.
Yeah.
Fill your husband up, your boyfriend, because men are getting it too. Do what you gotta do. It's true. It's just like you gotta, you have to laugh to keep from crying. But I had to find humor in all of this stuff.
Me too. Yes.
Because if you don't, it will take you down. Like it really will. You go through so many changes. It will literally take you down if you don't find a way to put a positive spin on what you're dealing with. So,
I agree.
So let's talk about relationships. How did going through cancer?
We talk about
whatever one you want. If you want to talk about romantic relationships, if you want to talk about your friendships, or whatever relationship you want, or both. How did it affect your relationship going through breast cancer?
So like I said, like when I found out the first time that I had breast cancer at my job, a lot of my coworkers witnessed that side of me they'd never seen before. A bunch of those coworkers turned out to be my friends after, because they came to my chemotherapy and all of that. So they're my friends. They're my really close friends. They've been there for me, and they kept me company and made me laugh. Went to chemotherapy with me, everything. Just stayed positive for me and got me lunch, and they were there. Coworkers turn into friends. So I'm very grateful for them. Let's say, hold up. Second time around, I gained some new friends. Very positive people, very supportive in my life. So I'm very, very happy and blessed to have them. My first time with cancer, I did get rid of some friends because they were negative. And I did not want to be around all that negativity. Like, I'm trying to save my life. I'm fighting for my life. I don't need all that negative stuff about dying and all this stuff. You need to do this. And it's like, chill out. Like, just stay positive.
Some people don't have, I call it cancer etiquette. Some people don't have, I think they really don't know what to say. I had friends that I didn't hear from the entire time, that I went through breast cancer. I even had a couple of friends was like, I'm unfollowing you on social media because I don't want to see, I don't even want to see it. But those people, I mean, they're not my friends they're not anymore. They're not my friends, and they weren't my friends, but you find out a lot of things when you're in the thick of a situation. So you find out a lot of things about people, but I couldn't dwell on it. That was one of the things, what you call the small stuff. That was one of the things I was like, okay, it's all right. God will send who I need in my life at this time. And that's exactly what he did. I met some amazing women, y'all online. I had a troop. So, I was grateful, I was thankful for all of that. Yes, it did hurt, but I promise I didn't dwell in it at all.
Mhm.
I moved on. But I tell you what, they ghost me then. I'm letting them stay ghosts.
Mhm.
I didn't try to resurrect those friendships at all.
I wasn't in a relationship when I went through, my first time with breast cancer and now, but I did the ghosting on guys because I don't know,
Really?
I felt like I wasn't capable of being in a relationship at that time.
Gotcha.
Like how am I gonna be like, oh, you wanna go on a date? Okay, cool. And I'm be like, oh yeah, my name's Angela. Oh, by the way, I have breast cancer. Like what guy would want to hear that? Like I felt like I just didn't want to be a burden to a guy, just meaning a guy. Like I wanted to beat him to the punch, be like, before he'd be like, oh, she got cancer. I don't want to deal with that right now. Maybe I should just wait till after, she looked better and she don't look sick no more and everything.
But you never looked sick. you, you never ever. I've never seen you look sick ever.
Girl, blam. You gotta, put our face.
Yeah. I believe in that. My organization's slogan is "Fight fiercely." So I believe in get up, get dressed, do whatever it is you need to do to make yourself feel better, and push forward. I went to chemo, glammed up.
Me too.
And all. So I did that, and it did make me feel better. Some people, they just, I guess it just depends on your persona and, how you take it. But for me and for you as well, because I see your pictures and, when you're going in chemo, you always look extremely cute. And so you have to make the best of a bad situation.
I agree.
And that's what it is.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I did build, my relationship with my family has always been a strong one, but once with the cancer, it became stronger, a lot stronger. It's like, for me, family over everything, they come first. And so that's one thing that I'm always going to have as my family. So that relationship is always going to stay strong. They've been there. My parents, parents are the best, having to tell them and them saying, you need to move back into the house. I don't want you working and we financially will take care of you. Like, that's a blessing. Some parents, some people can't do that. They didn't want me stressing at all. They said, you need to fight this. So let me take care of you until you get 100% better.
Yeah.
And you back on your feet. So my family, they were there for me. They made sure that I had what I needed. Certain foods that I was craving, they were right there. Like, okay, you craving you some church's chicken? Yeah, I'm craving some church's chicken. Like, like I'd have the weirdest cravings. Like after chemo, I would have to eat what I wanted after chemo.
Yeah.
Like my mom would be like, okay, well, you tell me, what you craving, and I'll make it, or I'll go grab it. I'm like, okay, you sure? She's like, yes, anything for you. You just need to eat. It's all about.
So they want to make sure that you eat all the time.
Oh, they were very patient with me, so I was very, very happy for that.
That's awesome.
For sure. So
my parents were amazing. I tear up thinking about it, but they were amazing. I'm still a crybaby when I talk about it because my journey is still pretty fresh, just like yours. So, and I haven't really just sat down and shared, like you all are doing. I hadn't just done that part about my journey, but just seeing my mom and dad travel 2 hours here and back every time I had a treatment. And, my mom staying with me so my husband could still work and, take care of us, at 70 years old. So it just overwhelms my heart because, I never thought my parents would have to take care of me. Like, again, not in that way. So just having your family, like me and my sister's relationships are really close, got really close. And I just, like you said, making the best out of a bad situation. Cancer is bad, but I promise you some great came out of it. Some great came out of it.
And I still get overwhelmed as well when I talk about my parents, especially my dad, because The day I found out, my dad was home hospice at the time.
Oh.
So having to come home and tell him, Dad, I have breast cancer. All he did was cry, and he kept apologizing, and he was saying that he's sorry he couldn't protect me, take me to treatment and take me to doctor's appointments and everything. That broke me. But I promised him, I said, Dad, me and you, we're going to be healthy again, and we're going to promise each other right now that we're going to be okay, and we're going to fight, and we're going to make it through, the both of us together, you know? So, I mean, that right there, just my parents, the best. I'm very grateful, and never would I take them for granted. And especially now, my mom, now that my dad's passed, you know, my mom's taking care of me financially, and she's making sure that I'm okay. So I'm so grateful. Like my dad is still taking care of me, and he's not here anymore. Like financially, like I'm not having to worry about any bill. None of that, because of my parents. So I'm
that's a blessing.
Yeah.
That is a blessing, because so many women I meet, you know, they don't know where their bill money is going to come from. You know, they don't know where their meals are going to come from. And that's one of the main reasons why I launched Pink Savvy is, you know, because I wanted us to be a hands-on organization.
Yeah.
To be actually boots on the ground for these women. We have millions of dollars going into research, but there are so many lacking so much that they need in that moment, you know, when they go through breast cancer. So yeah. Okay. So I know we got heavy. Okay, so how did you take a traumatic experience and turn it into a way to encourage and inspire others? Because you inspire me. I watch you all the time.
Thank you.
I inbox you, and you know, we chat.
Yes.
But how did you like process that and decide? Because you know, we have people that decide to wallow in it, and you know, they want the pity, and they're just down about the whole thing. And I get that from time to time, but I don't feel like anyone should stay there. But you have people that do, and they just can't seem to resurrect their spirits. So how were you able to do that? How were you able to turn that situation? And now it's the third time that you're being diagnosed.
Yeah.
How do you turn that into a traumatic, you know, how do you turn it into an inspiration for somebody?
You know, my family has always helped me, and they inspire me, and I had to keep strong for them, number one. And mentally, I had to stay positive through everything. Why? My dad suffered 9 strokes.
Oh my God.
Since 2011, and every single stroke, it became worse. So having to see him like that, but he always smiled, he always laughed. Seeing him, the one thing I was scared of, that I feared the most with going through cancer, was chemo. Picking up on it, saying how it's going to make you look and how it's going to make you feel, your side effects. Whenever I went to chemo, I always thought of my dad. I was like, you know what? If my dad could go through 9 strokes and him still being here, I can go through this. And I'm a daddy's girl. So I'm like, I'm a fighter just like my dad. So I always mentally kept my head positive at all times, knowing that God has a bigger purpose for me on this earth. And once I'm done with my journey, he's just going to bless me. He's going to keep blessing me. So that's like the main thing. Was the focus was, number one, the strength that came from my dad, having to see him hospice at the time. He was home hospice. So the fact that he could not go to any of my chemos, that broke him. So before I would go to chemo, I would go in his room and I give him a kiss and hug, be like, Daddy, I'm about to go to chemo. I'll see you once I get out of chemo. And I always kept strong in front of him. I never showed any type of side effect or feeling sick in front of him. I spent so much time with my dad. Like me and my mom, I honestly, me and my mom, we switched taking care of my dad. I wanted that time with my dad because he was hot at the time. I didn't know what was going to happen in the next 6 months, Sorry.
That's fine.
It's my sister calling me honestly. Anywho, but I just learned to just stay strong for my dad, and for him to see me and he'd be like, okay, my daughter's okay. She's not in any pain. Even though sometimes I was in pain, I didn't show it. Yeah. Like, I didn't want my dad to see that, like, at all. Because having to see his daughter not physically being able to go up to her and hug her, that broke him. So it's like I had to be strong, not only for me, but for him. That's what's going to make him want to
keep pushing.
Be better, keep pushing, So that was my number one was my dad. That kept me sane. That kept me my head at ease with everything that's going on, So just staying positive is just number one, taking things day by day. And one thing that I did was I always celebrated everything. Last day of chemo, last day of radiation, my surgery. Always celebrate even the small things through your journey with cancer. That's another thing that kept me motivated. I'm like, after I'm done with chemo,
yes.
Mm-hmm. You have to. You have to.
You do. And don't care who's looking and judging and whatever. I celebrate everything. Everything. Because people don't understand how valuable life is until it's almost stripped away from you. And I don't care. Like,
I know
what happened. My MRI was clear. Okay, it's time.
Exactly.
Okay. We're going. It's a celebration. Yes. So yes, I promise you, I get it.
Yeah, so
I get it. Yeah. So, well, you are definitely an inspiration to me. I truly admire you and your fight and how you share. And my last question for you is, what advice would you give someone that found out that they were diagnosed yesterday?
Oh, wow. Don't give up. Stay positive. Keep smiling, keep laughing. I know it's difficult right now, but things will get better. 1, stay away from Google. That's one thing that I would tell someone that's newly diagnosed, because my first time with cancer, I was on my phone just looking at stuff. Okay, triple negative breast cancer. Oh my, okay. Oh no, no. Like, really? That can happen to me? No, stay away from that. That's only going to overwhelm you and scare you. Stay away from Google. I believe in social media, connecting with other women that have been through it, who are survivors, who are currently going through cancer, thrivers, all of them. And it's crazy because I have great relationships with you. My first social media platform, that people that contacted me first was For the Breast of Us, Marissa and Jasmine. They reached out to me first, and they always showed support, and the whole group, like all the baddies, all the women, everyone were just really loving and supportive, and it was like a sisterhood. It was like a family.
Yeah.
So it's like, let me talk to this female who has the same cancer as me. How did that go for her? What should I expect? I mean, of course, all of our stories are different, but we all experience some things that are similar in a way, you know? So it's always good to connect with women that are in the same paths as you and has been there. Yes. So that's one thing that I would tell a newly diagnosed person if they were diagnosed with breast cancer. And, you know, stay strong. You're gonna be an inspiration. Like, you're already an inspiration, you know? You're gonna be just fine. Don't give up. Keep smiling. Listen, this is my 3rd time with cancer and I'm still smiling. That's all you can do is, sorry, continue to smile through it all. That's all you gotta do. And pray. And you will be just fine. That's what I would tell a newly diagnosed person is don't give up. Stay positive. That's all you can do, and you're gonna make it. You're going to make it. It's gonna be tough. But don't give up. Your body is not gonna give up on you. Don't give up. Stay positive. You're gonna be just fine.
Whew. Thank you, girl. Oh, you done brought me tears and everything. You had me crying and everything tonight. But girl, I appreciate you so much for being a part of this. I'm definitely gonna have you back again because this is gonna be something that I do after October. It'll be something that I do monthly, you know, just for informational purposes, because I want people to remain aware, not just in the month of October, but all year round. And then if I have to get in their faces to remind them, then hey,
all right,
I want to remind them. But yes, so thank you again so much for being on tonight. I love you and I appreciate you. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I also want to thank my sponsors and partners, the Well Station, Ben and Kay, Delia's Hair Diary, Golden Arches, Brighton Collectibles, It's Only Naturals, and Two Fly Chicks. And thanks to everyone that has donated to our Fierce Fighter chemo kits as well. We appreciate you so very much. We hope that you tune in on next Monday for another night of Cancer Conversations. Have a good night, everybody.
How you feel? I traveled this same road, and all you want is someone to hear your bleeding heart overflowing with